of us has ever seen. Og incident? Try Og.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard just the airline were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been sending flashbacks to the augmented. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented within all of the world.
I couldn't imagine what it's like to be augmented these days.
Families torn apart, losing jobs, having everything taken from you. It's awful.
I wish there was more we could do.
Other people brave new world.
I heard a bunch of runaways live down in the sewers, formed their own little community.
That's just a rumor. It can't be real.
Who cares if it isn't? It's romantic. Unwanted misfits banding together and carving out a place for
Hobos,
themselves.
ogs, prostitutes.
Erica,
City
You
is
need
falling
to grow
apart.
up. I never thought it would come to this.
To that garbage.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you. Disgusting.
I don't usually blurt out my political views to people on the street, but I just want...
We're exposing big money corruption. What these journalists overlook. In Chile, they committed massive voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting system and elected a 12-year-old boy as president. In Russia, hacked combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the U.S., millions of workers lost their jobs when a collectively declassified corporate document called on several Fortune 500 world enterprises. Collectively one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world, despite whatever praises the underground media wants to see. This is a live ceann-feadhna. Live.
I'm telling you, I hear whispers in the wall.
They speak the truth.
You sure it's not in your head, brother?
Shh. Beep, beep, clack, clack, typing. Computers, don't you hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Many of the protests have turned violent. This escalation in the violence of rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the initiated. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access denied. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
A big global impact story, then segue into earthquakes and clones, follow up on Dubai, and finish with local. Where are we on Praha, the boss?
You're asking all the right questions. Still needs an ending.
You said that place is a front for a front. I want to know more. I want facts. Bones, what about you?
I still think we should lead with Moonbase.
He's right. Moonbase is sexy.
Since when are we trying to be sexy? Do I look like Eliza Kazan to any of you?
You absolutely do not.
Deep breaths, people. Let's take a minute to think about who we are, what it is we're trying to accomplish here.
Don't shoot!
Shit.
We're journalists!
Who invited the agent type?
Who are you? What do you want? Why are you here? You here because of the Dubai story? The article about the Moonbase? The clones on the Moonbase? Who sent you?
I'm here for Sam's dad. You in charge?
I take charge, but I'm not in charge, man. No one owns or dictates the truth. Freedom of information is a collective right, and a collective responsibility. That said, you gonna break someone's nose? You break my nose.
I didn't come here to break anything. I just need you to cooperate.
I spent my 20s in a commune, man. I'm all about cooperation.
Good. It's about something you've been looking into. It's making some people nervous. What do you know about Praha Dovos?
That little import company? I know there's more than boxes in the basement. We've seen agent types come in and out. The place is a curtain. The first in a series of men. Pull them all back and you'll find... Damn. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's a dead end.
Right. Guys like you always come down here because of dead ends.
Fine. Then what if it's something other people are already looking into? If someone like you makes too much noise, that may compromise any chance they have of uncovering something bigger. Do you understand?
I'm supposed to believe we're colleagues now? You men in black types, you walk into Pike's newsroom, tell them to be hush-hush about something, and they do it. But that's not how it works here. One day, you will all be exposed. If not by me, then someone just like me. Samizdat isn't one voice. K isn't one man.
What did you mean when you said K wasn't one man?
K is an ideal, the intangible leader of tangible resistance. You can kill me, but then little K would become K. Kill little K and Bones over there becomes K. There's always a K.
And what if you kill Bones?
You can't kill Bones, man. Bones isn't real. I think he was one of them. He was supposed to be a prince of Belgium, man, but then he broke his condition. We found him inside this fucking cult, all confused, so we reprogrammed him with the truth.
Right. Suppose I needed to make a deal with Sam's dad. There's no one person I can talk to?
Depends on the deal. I mean, there's always going to be an editor. editor makes the final call on all published material. That would be me.
So you could ensure that something doesn't get talked about.
Depends on the deal.
What exactly do you do down here?
Samizdat is a media uprising. While Picus panders to corporate tyranny and government bullshit, we pump out the truth. We uncover it, we write it, we publish it. We get our noses broke for it.
So you print pamphlets?
Well, we do a lot more than that. We got ways of getting into Picus media network. That's how we disseminate information.
Information you get by hacking into places you shouldn't.
The truth is buried. If digging it up means skirting a few rules, so be it.
I need you to stop looking into Brahadovos, but not for the reason you assume.
Relax, I get it. You don't think I do, but I do. You got what these your military industrial masters. We've all been there, man.
I'm not who you think I am. The kinds of people who manipulate the news, who cover things up. You don't need to convince me that's who the enemy is.
The enemy is anyone who conceals the truth. And that's exactly what you're asking me to do. To pretend like that little import company isn't hiding something.
I'm asking you to see a difference between conspiracy and discretion. Between people who hide information in order to push their own agendas and those who need to stay off the radar in order to do their jobs. You, of all people, should understand.
Okay. Okay, look. You seem like a reasonable guy. Huh? Hell, I've usually been punched by now. I find this refreshing. Here's the deal. We promise to forget all about Brahadovos and stay out of your way as long as you give us something better.
What do you suggest?
The only thing I hate more than secret organizations are toothless media conglomerates who don't hold anyone accountable, who spit lie after lie after lie. So I propose a trade. There are places my people can't get into. You get into one of those places and find me some dirt on the real enemy here. Picus Media. Do that and I'll cut whatever you want me to cut. Who knows? Maybe you'll even learn something.
You're gonna forget everything you know about Brahadovos for now. It's the only way you get to protect your ideals.
Right, because concealing information is obviously the best way to keep people informed. You really think I'm that stupid? There's this word you might want to look up. It's called transparency. It means people have the right to know, no matter what the cost.
Fair enough, but there's a difference between speculation and fact. Right now I'm betting you don't have anything tangible to go on. You don't know who I am, what my role is, or what's really going on. Wait until the facts are out before you go spewing misinformation everywhere. Before you get people killed.
Okay, maybe I don't have all the facts yet, I'll give you that, but I know something's going on down there. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. That's why you always have to keep digging. The truth, the real truth. It's a rare fucking bird, man. And if you're too slow or too careful, it fucking flies off. So when I get so much as a hint of truth, I strike when I can, as hard as I can.
Whatever the cost, is that it? You want to be better than Picus, right? But what does Picus do? They frighten people. They sensationalize the news. They misdirect. If you want to resist them, you need to strive to be objective. You need to deal in truths. And the truth is, putting Brahadovos under the spotlight right now is dangerous to me and useless to the public. Wait until it's time.
Okay, I get it. I don't want to compromise no one's investigative journalism. Sometimes you move too fast and the real story flies off before you even had a chance to see it. That's not what we do here. So you go break open whatever it is you're breaking open and we'll lay off Brahadovos. For now.
You're making the right choice.
We'll see. You know, we could still use your help, though. Journalistic integrity may not mean very much topside, but it still means something down here. And that's why I think you should help us. You're our best shot at hitting the mass media where it hurts.
Alright, what do you want to know about Picus?
I want skeletons. The kind that companies like Picus come all the way to Prague just to bury. Corporate archiving, man.
Corporate archiving, huh? You asking me to break into a bank?
I'm not talking vaults here. Ashani Talvar, the Palisade CEO. She leverages her clients, keeps information about them close at hand. She's got something on Picus, I know it. I just can't get to it, but I bet you could. You poke into her office, find something that proves how nasty Picus is, how much they love to piss on the truth, and I promise you this, I'll misplace any file you want.
We'll see. Chang, you there?
What do you got for me?
Took care of Sam's dad. No one's going to be reading anything about us anytime soon.
Oh, I'll cancel the movers. How'd you do it?
I've reasoned with them. They're not going to give us any trouble.
Reasoned? With the conspiracy nuts.
I know what I'm doing.
I finally got through to my contact in the trade office. Fuck off.
Keep trying, Holmes. Keep giving them help.
Coffee machine is broke again. Can someone please go out and get a new coffee machine?
We have to wake people up, shake them out of their indifference.
I agree with everything you are saying. But believe it or not, I have other priorities in my life. I work in a soup kitchen twice a month. I collect blankets. I donate to charities. I do enough already.
listens to that garbage?
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Problems already. Have a nice time. More and more of them.
Love, so cheap, see?
Of course it's easier. That's what the country holiday is, right? Of course it's
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiate. Access denied. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiate. Access denied. Access granted. Initiated. Access granted. initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Like I'm always telling you, Rado, people in all country are more genuine. They treat each other with respect. If a man has something to say, he says it to your face. Politely. That is what...
Go away, Clegg. We're closed.
Oh, he is not here to gamble, Vanna. Are you?
You're Otar?
I am Mr. Botkovelli, yes. And who are you?
I'm here on behalf of a concerned third party.
Oh, you hear that, Mano? Our guest is a very private person.
I found it pays to be cautious when you don't know exactly who you're dealing with.
That is true. But sometimes it can create problems which could have been avoided had they been more forthcoming. If neither man is willing to compromise, they cannot reach a satisfactory understanding.
I would like to avoid any misunderstandings.
Good. So in this case, since you already know my name, and no doubt other things about me, I think you owe me the same courtesy.
I'm with Interpol, but I'm not here to cause any trouble. Organized crime is someone else's department. I'm here to pick up the shipment you're withholding from Václav Koller.
Vano, look. The only honest policeman in Prague. Koller must want this item very much to send someone like you. But I will tell you what I told Koller. No, he cannot have the calibrator, and you can't either. Dealing with odds is bad business. A point which some people in this organization have yet to understand.
Koller didn't send me. I volunteered after he explained his situation. Sounded like he can use a little help. The truth is, though, I'm doing this for me. I need some repairs done, and Koller needs the calibrator to do them.
Do you believe this, man? Such commitment to honesty. But now I wonder about your commitment to other people. But tell me, Mr. Frenchy, how far are you willing to go to help out a friend in need?
If someone needs my help, I give it. Any way I can.
It is like I am always telling him, you can get a lot accomplished just by having a conversation. I will let you have the calibrator.
Thanks. And what's it gonna cost me?
Listen to the man. Even when he gets what he wants, he does not trust it. What shall we do with such a man? What will it cost? A favor.
What kind of favor?
Don't worry. I will let you know in due time. It won't be too painful. Not for you. What do you say? Do we have a deal, Mr.
Jensen? We have a deal.
Excellent. Upstairs in my office, you will find Koller's calibrator. I will be in touch.
Take your sideshow somewhere else.
Taking a walk.
You have orders. Follow them.
A smart businessman. Hope he does something. Looks like it would be a fun fight.
Серьезно решил так жить? Пойдешь потом в королеву?
This world is not white and black.
Слышал?
Let him get it, King. You whore.
In Russia, hacked combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the US,
Мне нужен
millions of
отпуск.
workers lost their jobs when the collectively declassified
Mexico police kill us all.
Watch
Word of this cannot reach Radic.
Access granted.
Согласен с тем, что босс вчера сказал.
Mr. Botkovelli knows what she's doing.
This legislation, if passed, calls for the removal and downgrading of all overly powerful, unlicensed augmentations. Individuals who fail to comply will be arrested and relocated to designated AUG-only locations. Safety
Never expected to see Mr. Botkovelli agree with the Yoga.
where millions of people lost their lives to malfunctioning organizations. Opposing have been protesting all over the world, and many of the protests have turned violent. This escalation in the nonsense rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue on both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely for any break in the story. This is Eliza Kazan, reporting to you.
Friends and favors are important to have. Better to use.
What if I get some disease?
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
All right, Kohler. I've got your neuroplasticity calibrator.
That's great! I'm gonna pencil you in for that optimization procedure. Just as soon as I'm done with this house call.
What house call?
I got this other client, you know, doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Neither do I, Kohler. Call me when you're ready.
Concerns of the digital age, and we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns a priority. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Secure corporate archiving company in the world.
Around the clock, around the world. Always watching.
Friends and favors are important to have. Better to use.
Turning now to Prague, the city still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday.
What's next?
When bombs exploded inside Rusika train station. I do not need to remind you folks that this is the third such attack to throw Prague in 6 months. All of them occurring on the south side.
Self-number. Only start Nikolazzi doesn't find out about this.
What do you mean you think he makes better capo? Mr. Nicolazzi, he is a great man. This family, it is where it is because of him.
Of course, but what do you expect? The Diwali family has lost a lot of respect in the last few years.
Bah! What do you know of anything?
Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Here's trouble.
No, we had our golden years. We just attacked and opened them off. No,
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Oh, you interested in submersion?
You know, I don't deal much with crazy Uyubok. But credits are credits. Have a look. Make up your mind. Stay, go, buy. Come on!
Not interested right now.
Go! Go! Waste my time.
They committed massive voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting.
Are you interested in clean guns for a good price?
That's interesting. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Grew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history. I've never
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access denied.
Of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured anonymity. Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
around the clock, around the world. I'm always watching, because you are always watching. Turning now to Prague, a city still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside the train station. I do not need to remind you folks, this is the third such attack to strike Prague in 6 months. All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker claims his organization to ensure the rights of the augmented.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
The global leader in fair, unbiased, and impartial reporting. And now for a close look at the events making headlines around the world. Here are our top stories. The freedom of the press a threat to our freedom? The latest irresponsible journalist,
initiated. Access granted.
Journalists overlook, however, is the damage these hackers leave in their wake. Last year, the collective shut down London's traffic. Causing gridlock for hours and preventing life-saving medical transport from getting through. In Chile, they committed massive voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting system and elected a 12-year-old boy as president. In Russia,
since 2017. However, this particular building was completed in 2024, and since then has acted as the head office.
Very impressive.
It has also been recognized as a heritage site?
Absolutely. You're welcome to go inside and visit. Well, the lobby at least, it does remain a bank. Restricted areas are off limits.
Of course. Unless I decide to open an account. Thank you.
Pleasure, sir. I'm sure the receptionist will be happy to answer any questions you might have.
So the bank doesn't store money or gold or anything, it only stores data?
That's right, in any form it takes. Hard drives, archival papers, prototypes, proprietary research, sensitive items.
So if I want to find out all about the company's dirty secrets, or commit industrial espionage, all I have to do is break into Palisade Bank?
It's not as easy as you think. Believe me. And even if you do pull off that miracle, you'll have to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. That's a promise.
Why didn't you go check
Absolutely.
Please see the
Data
receptionist.
extractors have never breached the level.
Hackers are everywhere. Not here?
Exactly. Of course, physical security is also paramount, and Tarvos has an impeccable reputation.
They were affiliated with Bell Tower, yes?
Formally, yes, but so were most security companies before the incident. Why don't I schedule a meeting for you with our accounts manager? He can answer all your concerns and start the application process.
Yes. Why don't we do that? Thank you. A pleasure, sir.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Palisade. May I help you?
Not sure. Never been to a property bank?
I see. Well, we are the premier secure corporate archive in the world. We offer a number of services, including ultra-secure corporate vaults, as well as executive safes for smaller accounts. Exclusivity, anonymity, and security are the cornerstones and our greatest selling point.
Makes sense that security is a major concern for your clients.
Oh, yes. Everything at Palisade is state-of-the-art. Security measures are audited regularly, and Tavos is a very well-respected private security firm. Would there be anything else?
So this is a data haven?
Well, we don't use that term here, but yes. We archive highly sensitive materials and documents for some of the most powerful businesses and people in the world. No worries about corporate espionage here.
Or government subpoenas.
Our international clientele do tend to disagree with the stance of their local governments as it pertains to corporate rights, let's say.
So they take advantage of this country's more pro-business legislation?
I suppose that's one way of looking at it, if you were a cynic. I prefer to think that our clients shouldn't have to deal with small-minded anti-capitalist bureaucracies if they can avoid it.
How big are the corporate vaults? Doesn't seem like this building would hold that many.
Oh, quite big in fact. We call them container vaults. Like shipping containers. Our storage facility is actually right under our feet. Quite an impressive sight.
Underground, makes sense. Great security feature.
Absolutely. In addition, they are only visited by appointment and require the use of a client's keycard to access.
Your executive safes are available to anyone?
Well, we do have an exclusive clientele, and the application process is rigorous. Despite this, almost all our safes are currently occupied.
Your client list must be very impressive.
It is. Mostly they are held by executives from our client companies, but some select individuals have been approved as well.
But with the same high security standards, I hope.
Oh, of course. And access to the executive safe room is restricted. Clients must use their assigned personalized keycards to gain entry.
That's all? Sounds a little simple.
It's a little bit more involved. The keycard also switches off all automated security measures within the vault. Lasers and sentries and the like. All very high-tech.
I think I'd like to see the account manager.
I'm sorry, Mr. Romanek is unavailable at the moment.
Thanks for the information.
malfunctioning augmentation. Opponents of the legislation have been protesting all over the world, and many of the protests have turned violent. This escalation in the violence and rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue for any break in the story. This is Eliza Cassell, reporting to you, live from Picus.
They may have batteries, but we've got this. The ceann-feadhna drinks. For all you need to get through the day. A shot.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard Sister Airlines Flight 451 were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered the flight crew. Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been suffering flashbacks of that horrible day. All over the world, fluid psychotic.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
It will certainly be a while before any of us forget it. This is Eliza Cassell, reporting to you live from Picus.
Exclusivity, anonymity, security. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age, and we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured anonymity. Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best security.
Around the clock, around the world. Picus. Always watching, because you will.
check that out.
Got your post covered.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Back to New York, and a more in-depth look at UN Security Council Resolution 3507, also known as
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
only location. Safety is the primary concern, especially in the wake of the AUG incident, where millions of people lost their lives due to malfunctioning augmentation. Opponents of the legislation have been protesting all over the world, and many of the protests have turned violent. This escalation in the violence and rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue on both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely for any break in the story. This is Eliza Kazan, reporting to you